So Russia's victory parade on May 9th is coming fast. Today is Sunday, May 4th, 2025. My name is Darren Gerdes. I'm just a professor trying to provide context in the war in Ukraine. So the question is something very bad going to happen? Will May 9th spark some global crisis or chaos or something along those lines? Like, what's going to happen? We know that Putin does not want to have anything bad happen at his parade. We know that he even proposed a ceasefire for that day just to prevent that, but we'll see how that all plays out. Meanwhile, we want to talk about this. Well, it looks like some of these people, so if you look at memes on social media, for example, you'll see things like this where we have Fico X'd out and Vucic from Serbia checked out, and we have India, Modi checked out, and now we have Lukashenko checked out. It's really interesting seeing, like, so who's not coming? You can't believe these. You have to actually get into it and like read the articles to figure out what's going on. So I asked Grok just to check, because now I knew that Modi was out. Like, he already came out and announced that. I knew Viktor Orban came out and said he's not going to the parade, but Xi, there's been images of Xi saying that he wasn't going to go out. He's confirmed. I'll show you that in a moment. Fico is doubling down. Vucic, we don't know. And the president of Kazakhstan, we just don't know. So here's what we do know. Of this list, this was April 1st, this came out, who will come to the Victory Day parade. And again, this came out on April 1st. And of that list right now, Serbian President Vucic, he just got sick and was hospitalized and may not be well until the 10th. Prime Minister of India said he's not in. President of Belarus said he may be running late. So we don't exactly know who is going to be there yet. Most of them are still going. Fico and Vucic caught the same bug before Victory Day, which Gary Kasparov calls the Ukrainian dronavirus. Yeah, I mean, that might be what's causing this. Doctors revealed the details, and this is not this isn't a joke. This is a real article. Doctors revealed the details of Vucic's sudden illness. Vucic's condition after he unexpectedly fell ill before his planned visit to Moscow for the parade is stable and satisfactory. This was reported by Military Medical Academy, where Vucic was hospitalized earlier today. Turns out the Serbian leader had experienced severe chest pain that lasted for a few seconds. Doctor also noted that the patient had high blood pressure. Okay, according to the cardiologist, the president of Serbia will not be able to work for several more days. Again, it's May 4th. He'll probably make a remarkable recovery on May 10th. Okay, now this one was fascinating. It's like your shadow refusing to go with you when the president of Belarus, he announced that he might be late. He might not make it on time. So he might be hedging his bets. Now, this is Lukashenko. I've been to Belarus. Look at this. Look at how manly he is hitting that. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, let's look at this. So Lukashenko is about as much of a dictator as anyone in the world. I mean, he and Kim are kind of rivaling for who's clamping down most on their own population. So there's a big event here, and he's going to show how his chopping wood prowess. Look at just to see where it hits. Let me expand this a little bit. Look to see where it hits, and then we'll look at and see if this is actually like a thing or if it's a setup. Look where it hit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's been set up. Look how easy this is to pop it open. Look at that. He's such a woodsman. Right? So they set this up in such a way to make him look awesome. And they do things like that all the time. In fact, he's going to talk about how now we need to start cutting and expanding. See how it's already broken? Yeah, so he's already just chopping where it's already broken. He went to a different one. It's just fascinating how he operates, and then like puts on this show as if he's like, okay, so even he's not planning on attending. But there are confirmed reports of others that are attending. Oh, by the way, Modi said he wasn't going to go, and so he said his defense minister wasn't going to go. And then his defense minister came out and said, I'm not going. Okay, but Xi's going, President Xi from China, he's going to be there. And then, so Xi will be there from the 7th to the 9th. Serbian President Vucic has not canceled, even though he's sick. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has also confirmed that he's going to go. And he's actually doubling down, saying, you know, Zelensky's threats aren't going to keep me from going. Okay, so for pro-Putin French far-right politician Florent, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this, Philippot, claimed that Zelensky is threatening world leaders. He called Zelensky's stance insane, accused Macron and the EU of being the globalist mafia and pushing for escalation. Okay, so they're not pushing for escalation. They're just saying, look, if you want a ceasefire, stop bombing our civilians, committing war crimes against civilians sleeping in their apartments every night, sending hundreds of drones. So that's where Zelensky is. The Cuban president, he confirms his trip to Russia for the May 9th parade. A few hours, he says, will be in beloved Russia to attend a commemoration of the 80th anniversary of the victory over fascism. Fascinating how one authoritarian leader is going to go be there with another authoritarian leader talking about the defeat of another authoritarian leader. It's almost mind-numbing. Okay, Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico says he is not backing down. He will go to Moscow for the May 9th Victory Day parade, shrugging off warnings from Zelensky. Fico called Ukraine's reaction unheard of and added, I won't change my plans because of threats. Zelensky is wrong if he thinks no foreign leaders will show up. So he's going to show up because he's all in for Team Putin. A Myanmar Armed Forces delegation will proudly join the 80th Victory Day parade in Moscow's Red Square, as will lots of Kazakhstani armor. An eyewitness video. Here's May 9th parade rehearsal with several trucks carrying Orlan 1030, both Lancet and nighttime Garand UAVs. Let me pause there. So these let me go back just a little bit. These vehicles are legitimate targets. I mean, so are those in uniform. And I mean, I don't know how you would argue it's not. This is military target after military target after military target. So something may happen. It may not be there. It may be somewhere else. But something may happen with it. Okay, so Russia's foreign ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova commented on the British government's decision to invite Ukrainian armed forces to the parade in London on May 8th, saying that the UK was also shocked by this move. Well, if your whole thesis is that Ukrainians are Nazis, to have the British celebrate Nazis is a bad thing. But that's because you're making up and reinfusing the word Nazi with Ukrainian, as if they're really saying Heil Hitler or something. They're not. That's not it at all. Okay. Meanwhile, Kyiv is asking EU officials for May 9th visit to counter Putin's victory parade. President Zelensky's government invited top European officials on May 9th to Kyiv as a show of diplomatic force against Russian President Vladimir Putin's annual military parade in Moscow on the same day. Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha on Monday extended the invitation to his European Union peers during a gathering in Luxembourg, urging them to, quote, show our unity and resolve in the face of the biggest aggression in Europe since the Second World War. So that may be a good countermeasure. That also would lead me to think maybe they're not going to hit the parade because, they have these guys in Kyiv at the same time as others in Moscow. I don't know. RT was posting this. Zelensky set stage for Moscow Victory Day parade, claims maybe provocations from Russia, completely dismisses Putin's proposed truce. Well, he did, because Putin's truce is just an excuse not to hit the parade. Does it sound like he's setting the stage to accuse Russia of committing a false flag attack? Okay. Well, that's RT. You can safely discount it. Now, a whole host of memes have come out. Now, I'm not doing a separate video on these memes, but Putin and Xi and Orban. Orban already, he's not going to be there. So, and then we have this Moscow Victory Day in 2022, how it started, and then in 2023, how it's going. And there was a notable drop in armor in 2023 and 2024. It was really surprising how little armor there was last year. But they're borrowing some from Kazakhstan, so they'll still be able to put on a show. They probably won't have anything like drone cages over anything. Like this is obviously just a meme, a guy on a donkey wearing his drone cape, I guess. And they're probably not going to show the donkeys because these donkeys are, well, they're kind of needed at the front. Now, there are rumors that are unconfirmed suggesting that Russia has deployed more than 280 air defense units for Russia's 9 May parade in Moscow. 280 air defense units. Like, they're nervous about this kind of thing. And they should be nervous about it, frankly. With additional systems from Kazan and Grozny, the defense includes Don 2N and Nebo M radars, S-400s and Panzer S-1s and Tor M2 on rooftops. So they're preparing this way. Now, that would make me think that maybe part of the rhetoric is planned because, here's a comment from Jay in Kyiv. It's almost like Ukraine conned Putin into moving all Russia's air defense systems to Moscow so Ukraine can devastate some juicy targets elsewhere. That's what I was saying the other day. That's what I would do. I'd say, we're coming for you on May 9th. Just know that we're going to hit that parade, and wherever the air defense came from, I would just look for what is now a vulnerable target and expend everything I possibly could. Okay, so what do you think is most likely to happen? Well, you can play bingo with that, and we'll see what happens over time. Just a couple last things. We need to keep reminding the world that the USSR spent the first 2 years of World War II on Hitler's side and only changed sides when they had no other options. Here's the 1941 May Day parade with Nazi officers in attendance. And then the Kremlin, this is Darth Putin. Kremlin, large gathering of Russian military personnel and equipment is not a military target. It's not. Of course, a church service for Easter is. And that's the misery. All right, my friends, thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and the coffees. And thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.